Hello everyone. My name is Mackenzie Johnson. I'm the team leader, and I'm now going to introduce my teammates. We have Sam, Kyle, Gracelyn, and Alex. And now I'm going to hand it over to Gracelyn to talk about our objectives.
I'm Gracelyn Long, and our objectives for this presentation are to gain an understanding of the culture in Brazil and the culture shocks. And these culture shocks include business culture, social space, and soccer culture. And these objectives are to prepare employees before entering Brazil to ensure a smoother transition.
I'm Kyle Friend. Our first topic is the business culture. The first thing is that they emphasize on building relationships and social interaction. So whenever you're having a business meeting, it's really personal and you really get to know the people rather than just having their name and getting straight to business. The next thing is that they have no rigid schedule. So instead of in America, typically you'd say, okay, we're having a business meeting from 1 to 3. And over there, it'd be like, let's have lunch and then get together and kind of talk business after. Lastly, they have a term. It's a Portuguese term because that's the language they speak in Brazil. It's pronounced Gia Inu. It's basically just a way to find a way around an obstacle. So in America, an obstacle occurs. They have meetings. They create a strategic plan. Over there, they just kind of go with the flow and they find a way around it. So
I'm going to be talking about social culture. My name is Samuel Halpler. Um, First thing that is big over there is physical contact. So whenever you're in a conversation with someone, right? It's often that they'll greet with a handshake. That's common in America, but often they'll have the men will put hands on the back of the person they're talking to. Women will kiss the cheek of the other person they're talking to, and another thing with conversations is they stand really, really close. Um, in America, we're not so used to such close proximity when they're talking, but when in Brazil, it's only a couple of inches, maybe 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 inches away from someone. Conversations in their social cultures tend to be really informal and incredibly open. And so, even in a business aspect, they can tend to be incredibly just loose, um, not really rigid in how they speak. They also tend to be very direct as well, straight to the point. They don't dance around stuff. And lastly, gifts given is incredibly customary in their culture. If you're going to be invited to someone's house or you're going to an event, it's customary to give the host or the hostess a gift.
Hello, my name is Mackenzie Johnson, and I'm going to be talking about the soccer culture in Brazil. Brazil has over 776 professional soccer clubs. Soccer is taught at a young age to students and young children in school. And Brazil has won 5 FIFA World Cups, which is more than any other country. It is a big part of their pop culture. So, for example, the photo on the left is of Neymar, a very popular, skilled soccer player from Brazil. He is the nation's all-time top goal scorer in the game. And the sport is also a major source of national pride for the country and its people.
Wanted to thank everyone for listening to our presentation. My name is Alexander Hebenstreit. This is our works cited page in which we cited every source that we used. I wanted to ask if anyone had any questions. If not, then we can answer Dr. LeGrand's question. What is the most rewarding thing that you learned about the presentation as a whole? Personally, I cherish learning about nepotism within the Brazilian workplace and understanding their personal values when it comes to hiring friends and family over outsiders. Mackenzie, what is the most rewarding thing that you learned about the presentation?
Yes, thank you for the question. The most rewarding thing that I learned was how passionate the soccer fans in Brazil are. I watched a couple of YouTube videos of some games, and they seem to just have a whole lot of nationality and pride for their country and the sports. That was really interesting. That was probably the most rewarding thing that I learned. Gracelyn, what was the most rewarding part of your research?
The most rewarding part of the research for me personally was just the opportunity to understand and appreciate the Brazilian culture more because I feel like often we don't get the opportunity to learn about cultures besides our own. So that was the most rewarding part for me. Sam, what was the most rewarding part of the research for you?
I'd have to say being able to learn just the social culture of Brazil to get an idea of how they talk to one another, how they approach conversations, because it's vastly different than what we in America experience, and I found it really enjoying to learn. Kyle, what was the most rewarding thing for you to learn from this presentation?
So the most rewarding part for me was just being able to experience a different culture in America. Typically, we just see the stuff that's around us, but I like being able to realize that there's different ideas and different practices around the world. I really thought it was interesting to see that the business culture there is so loose, and it seems like they'd be way more enjoyable to practice business over there than it would be in America.
All right. Are we good? Is there anything else we need to add?
Nope.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.